Hi, I'm Nicole Lorig, a realtor with HomeSmart Lifestyles here in Queen Creek. Are you considering buying a home in Arizona? Well, today I'm going to talk about a very important disclosure document that you must take seriously when you're buying an older home. So let's get started. In this video, I'm going to talk about lead-based paint. First things first, what is lead-based paint? Well, the federal definition of lead-based paint is paint that contains 0.5% lead or 5,000 milligrams of lead per kilogram of paint chips. Congress passed the Residential Lead-Based Paint Hazard Reduction Act of 1992, also known as the Title X, to protect families from exposure to lead from paint, dust, and soil. Section 1018 of this law directed HUD and the Environmental Protection Agency to require the disclosure of known information on lead-based paint and lead-based paint hazards before the sale or lease of most housing built before 1978. Exposure to lead can cause serious health problems. Exposure to lead tends to be more problematic for children. At low levels of exposure in children, it can cause the nervous system and kidney damage, learning disabilities and attention deficit disorder, decreased intelligence, speech, language, and behavior problems, poor muscle coordination, decreased muscle and bone growth, hearing damage, and really high levels of exposure in children can be even more severe. In adults, lead exposure can cause harm to a developing fetus, increased chance of high blood pressure, fertility problems in men and women, digestive problems, nerve disorders, memory and concentration problems, muscle and joint pain. So as you can see, lead is a hazard to our health. And if it's in a home you're considering to buy, then you need to make sure that you are doing everything necessary to ensure your home is safe and healthy. Here in Arizona, a lead-based paint disclosure is required when a home is constructed prior to 1978, or if it was built after 1978 and the seller knows or has reason to believe that lead-based paint may be present in the home. The obligation to disclose the presence or possible presence of lead-based paint falls on the seller and their agent. That being said, if the home you are considering to buy requires a lead-based paint disclosure, there is some additional work you're going to have to do. Number one, educate yourself. The seller will provide you with an informational pamphlet that is approved by the EPA and also a copy of the lead-based paint disclosure form. You need to read both of these thoroughly and ensure you understand them. And I also strongly encourage you to do some of your own research to thoroughly understand this issue. Number two, order your testing. If the home you are considering buying requires a lead-based paint disclosure, you want to consider getting two different tests. These are the lead-based paint inspection and the risk assessment. The lead-based paint inspection tells you if the home has lead-based paint and where it is located. The risk assessment will tell you if the home currently has any lead hazards from lead in paint, dust, or soil. It would also tell you what actions need to be taken to address the hazards. Now, I want you to note that you still have 10 days after contract acceptance, unless otherwise negotiated, to get these tests done. So you'll want to make this a priority. And as your realtor, I'll be able to recommend companies to conduct these tests and even help with some scheduling. Number three, get quotes. If the tests come back positive for the presence of lead-based paint or lead hazards, you need to get quotes on how much it will cost to remedy this from a lead-safe certified renovators or contractors. Again, I can help you with this piece, but you want to be completely informed when it comes to understanding the risk and cost associated with lead-based paints. Number four, work with the seller to come to an agreement. As you conduct your inspections, including any lead-based paint testing, you may develop a list of items you disapprove of. In Arizona, you can give the seller the opportunity to correct the items you disapprove of. This is dealt with in the BINSR process. I go into more detail on the BINSR process in another video, so I'll leave that link to that video in the description below. But for the purpose of this post, I can help work with the seller to come to an agreement about who will remedy any lead hazards in the home. But most importantly, if we can't reach an agreement, you are not obligated to proceed with the purchase. So if the home you are considering to purchase contains lead-based paint or other lead hazards, don't get discouraged. I'm there to help you make the best decisions for you and your family. And keep in mind that lead hazards can be remedied by lead-safe certified renovators. These companies are certified by the EPA. Well, that's it. I hope I didn't scare you out of buying an older home because like I mentioned before, this can be fixed. If you'd like to view a copy of the approved EPA pamphlet with even more educational materials, I will leave a link in the description box below. But have a great week, everybody, and I will talk to you again next Tuesday. Bye.